oh shit. This is like boot camp where it's like, yeah, dude, stuff goes wrong, but it's supposed to, so we can learn how to get good under pressure. Definitely thunderstorms. Definitely our upstream bandwidth went hot garbage. We are running from the backup solution, kind of a hybrid thing. So Justin, you are incoming over the traditional, what should be the main line, but we're outputting over LTE wireless, and it seems like everything is acceptable for a bit.
Well, we're gonna find out. I mean, I guess that's that's going to be yet to be determined.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, how's your Tuesday? By the way, I have derived so much pleasure from giving your gift to anyone who will listen. Like, I've taken people who have never even seen What We Do in the Shadows, introduced them to What We Do in the Shadows, and then introduced them to K-Stress, and then revealed that they're the same person. It's great.
Oh, wow. So even showing both, they're not like, oh, he's the guy from the other thing you showed me.
Totally don't recognize it. In fact, and it's last night we did a hangout with a bunch of the college touring pros, and those are all people who have had to do those early morning news segments, and none of them had seen K-Stress except for Eric Diddleman, and who deeply enjoyed revisiting all of that stuff. It was awesome.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, it's so funny. God damn it. Hey, I got a question for you guys.
What you got? Sure.
So in this crazy world we're living in, obviously, aside from streaming, the other industry that has benefited from this crazy situation is grocery stores.
Benefited.
Now, more people are going to grocery stores because they can't go to restaurants.
Oh,
have you heard about this?
No, I haven't. I just figured that that it was not a great time for anyone. Not even then.
No, it's like exploding. Like grocery store revenue is like blowing up.
Okay, so everybody's cooking at home and looking good.
Anyway, that's not the point. The point is this: when you go to a grocery store, I have heard from other people that grocery stores have, by and large, made their aisles one way.
Yes.
Is that the same for you guys? Has your local grocery stores made your aisles one way?
I mean, the one way I get groceries now is Bonnie orders them and has them delivered. So that is the one way.
God damn it. See, that's the problem, is that has been locked. I mean, like, that is the hottest ticket in town. If you can get groceries delivered these days, oh my God, it is the best thing. We're seeing a lot of it here in the chat room, though, that people are saying that it is one way. Some people adhere to it, some people don't. The Whole Foods that I go to has not, and I don't know whether or not I'm happy or sad about it.
Well, so what's the case to be sad? I guess the sad about it means you have to bump into a bunch of people. And I guess what's the case to be happy about it? Because I don't mean guided, like I don't mind.
Well,
that
would be the case to be happy about it. Is that oh, don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna go get some popcorn, and then I'm gonna go back to get some deli meat, and then I'm gonna go over to get some jarred salsa, and then I'm gonna go do some other stuff. You're wild and free. You can do whatever you want, but at the same time, we live in a world where some people are touchier with who they're getting closer to than others, and now you're put into more situations where now, like, does somebody mind if I reach over their shoulder? I'm definitely within the 6 feet social distancing thing. I'm wearing a mask, but like, I don't want to get the stink eye from some rando because the grocery store hasn't decided that we're all going to follow this plan.
Oh, so
I don't know.
That's interesting. So by allowing more freedom, they're allowing everybody to manufacture those awkward moments. And you, as a consumer, would rather, it sounds like you're leaning towards freaking just make it. Oh, no. Okay.
Well, no, that's the duality. On one hand, like, I don't want to get into these fights with people that are more germaphobic than I am. And number two, I want the freedom to double back and go get some stuff that I want and not have to do the whole IKEA loop again. So I don't know. I don't know whether or not I am in the superposition of whether or not I am happy or sad.
I might have to recuse myself because after living in Austin for nearly 30 years, as long as I've lived here, all the streets in downtown have been one way. And I have no expectation of a right to go the other direction on Red River or 6th Street or whatever. And so as a result, like if you just told me now the grocery stores work the way downtown does, I'd be all like, all right. So it's like you want to do the thing, you got to take the long way around. No worries.
But what if you had something that you could do fully autonomously and then you were told you had to do it?
Well, and again,
One
that's
way.
why I'm recusing myself is because for 30 years, I know that at some point everything was two-way streets in downtown Austin. And then I'm sure everybody felt weird when it became a bunch of one-way streets, but I've never known that. So as a result, it doesn't strike me as particularly painful, but it sounds like,
But you've gone grocery shopping
yeah,
before?
yeah.
Which I would argue is more akin to this situation than driving in downtown Austin.
Here's my point. All I have to do is just understand, oh yeah, okay, so it's just like downtown Austin now. That's fine. And I would have no problem with it because
So
I have a framework.
You are leaning, it sounds to me like you are leaning more toward the idea that as long as a decision is strongly made.
Yes.
And they say it's one way or we're free range, please adjust accordingly, then that's where you're at. Which I think I might be on your side, but despite the fact that there is nothing but new rules at the Whole Foods, there is no explanation of why they have not put down the one-way things. And I only know it because I hear other people talk about it.
Oh, so they're not marked, but they do expect you to go one way?
No.
No, they're
not at all.
refusing to cross that Rubicon and dive in.
Okay.
So I only know that this is the case at a lot of other grocery stores because I hear other people talking about it. And now I can understand why they would do it because I've gotten a scanty pants glare from folks that are scared that the plague is going to make their way from my mouth to their nose while I reach over for some Pop Secret. Just kidding. It's Whole Food. It's like 365 Uncle Jerry's wholesome popping corn or whatever bullshit. Yeah.
Well. So what's your gut say? Like, number one, if you're going to lay odds on whether or not they're going to jump in on it. Number two, whether or not you want them to.
So, I don't know. This is where I'm debating. I have no idea. Like I mean, this just fades into this whole idea where I just don't. We're in a situation now. Bryce, would you consider yourself a germaphobe?
Not really. No.
All right. Neither would I. Then I would say that the three of us.
We also don't consider you a germaphobe. I'm glad we all agree. Bryce, not a germaphobe.
Yeah. Then none of us would consider ourselves germaphobes. But we can understand that there are many germaphobes around. And sometimes you could, play nice around their particular view of the world. You could understand it.
Sure.
We no longer live in the optional phase. Now, if you violate a germaphobe's sense of where their germaphobiness force field is, then like you are directly insulting. No, you are threatening their life if you move within or past that standard of behavior. And that is where I don't know whether or not it would be better to sacrifice my freedom because I don't want somebody else thinking that I threaten their life.
Now, here's the thing about germaphobes. If you get into a fight with a germaphobe, you just spit at them.
You wipe your nose on the shirt.
That's an easy fight. That's an easy nuclear option.
Speaking of which, I was thinking today about how that's all about to change because, number one, I found out that there's a place about 6 miles away from me that does 15-minute antibody tests. And I think I'm going to go get one because I think there's a decent chance that my illness last month was the thing, right? And I would love to know that.
The hearing loss thing?
No. Yeah. Well, that same sickness.
You think that was COVID?
Yeah, I think there's a less than zero chance, right?
Okay.
Enough that I would like to go get tested because, if I do have the antibodies, it would be good to know. And then I can, cut to the chase. It'd be great if Bonnie knew for a fact that all of us have already had it, and then she could reduce her anxiety about a lot of things. But in the future, people who know they've already had it and are immune or, resistant, whatever you want to call it, they're going to behave differently. But nobody's going to know that they know that they're immune or resistant or that it doesn't matter to them. And so there's going to be a lot of judginess, which is, I think, at the heart of what you're talking about, Justin, which is just walking down the aisle. You don't want to get close to someone, I mean, imagine if you knew for a fact that you full on already had it. You were tested before, you tested after, you're told you have nothing to worry about. You can't be a carrier. You can't get it. Like you're gonna swagger on down and grab that pop secret. But how you're gonna look to everybody else walking around without a mask, without a care in the world, is gonna be a little bit awkward.
Brian, to tell a family secret, I feel like that now. I don't get sick all that often. I feel very confident that if I got COVID, being a young, able-bodied man, that at worst it would be a very bad week.
Cold, yeah.
Right? But like considering the hell we live in now, I am very much Arnold and Predator, like kill me now, do it. What are you waiting for? Like that's where I'm at now.
Do you think there's a chance you've already had it?
I don't know. I mean, likely. Well, I mean, Ashley got really sick in January. If she had it, then there is zero chance that I was not at least exposed to it. It was a thing with her where it was unique in how much she would wake up coughing with a dry cough in the middle of the night for like a week and a half at the very least. In fact, no, this was December. It was just getting better. She just felt better enough to go to our friend's apartment for New Year's Eve. Like that was like the first night she felt good enough to go anywhere. So and I know before the science fucking brigade comes in, like if it was COVID and if she had it, then almost certainly I got it, right? Or I was exposed to it, whether or not I had symptoms for it.
Sure.
But Bonnie is now
who knows?
Is now leaning towards the probability that we might have gotten it when we were at Disney World in January. Because that would have been the time that it was under the radar and being spread around. We spent a week there with international visitors of all stripes, and we all felt under the weather, and we even kind of took a day off because none of us were feeling well. So I don't know.
No, but by the way, Hayden Warwick says, this is such a guy argument. No one wants to wear a face condom. Fuck that. I'll wear a goddamn mask. I'll wear a cool ass mask that'll have fucking crazy shit on it. I'll wear a bandit mask and I'll go to the bank and
wear
like
a fucking Boba Fett mask, fucking
I don't
Mandalorian mask, a Baby Yoda mask.
As long as I can, tell me what you need me to do so I can fucking go to a bar and fucking eat wings. Like, and name your price, buddy. I'm willing to go. I'm willing to fucking make it happen.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess first step is I'm gonna go and get tested and see. And I wish it was more reliable, but you got to start somewhere, right? I'll take the shitty test and at least find something out.
Do we want to make a bit out of this? Do you want to see if there's one in Oakland?
Oh, yeah. What's weird is
COVID.
mine is at one of those like low testosterone clinics. That's the closest one. And the ones where I was mocking Scott Johnson is like, well, I got tested for low T. And I'm like, does anybody get tested and not get told they have low testosterone? Like, does anyone say like, nope, you're super manly and you don't need anything from us?
This is a building that they only do T tests.
I don't know. It's like a men's health clinic or whatever. Kind of a on the periphery of traditional regular hospital medicine, where it's like a bunch of.
How much of your test do you think is going to be sage?
A bunch of elective procedures and stuff like. You can go and get tested, and then they're like
testicle showroom.
And then it's like, give me the thing that makes me really strong. I mean, gives me more energy and more sexual drive for my relationship. Also, it makes me strong, right? Because I want to go work out.
I don't know. I think it's more likely that you
Um,
just went to Disney, and because it is a sickness melting pot, you just got normal sick.
Sure,
Oh.
but what about the time I licked the bar in Austin right at the height of that spread? Do we think, like, I mean, that certainly has a higher probability of the sauce being in there.
I guess but I think it raises both equally. You know, I mean,
Yeah, so that means I got two coupons.
Hold on,
Bar
wait a
was gonna
minute.
be sick
When
anyway.
did you lick the bar?
that was the Scam Nation video.
Yeah, that was March 24th or so,
Something like
somewhere
that.
around there. Yeah.
It was a bar bet.
Yeah.
Wait, was that late? That wasn't that late.
It was because it was
It
like a
was.
week right before all the
Shelter in
shutdowns.
place hit. Yeah. And double,
Really? Wow.
double weird, like a random bachelorette from a bachelorette party walked up and started making out with David Rowan on the shoot.
Man,
I don't know
maybe
what we're
time-
gonna do with that footage.
We'll put it out.
Time
but
dilation
I wonder
is just
how
weird.
much of it should have commentary on, like, y'all not gonna believe this. Remember the world 60 days ago? Here's what it looked like.
I think we have just a card.
Wait, hold
somewhere
on.
that
So
says,
you licked the bar after they canceled South by?
Yes.
I guess so.
Yes,
Yeah.
way
yeah,
after.
Yeah. All right. But to
I
be,
thought that was earlier.
I don't know. Let me. I don't know. I could look up a production doc. It might have been earlier than that, but it was in March for sure.
It was close enough to it that you mentioned, like Scooper Nova says, you mentioned COVID in the video.
Yeah, but COVID had been kind of on the radar even before that.
Sure.
COVID was being talked about. Like, I remember in Vegas for the Nevada caucus. So that was third week in February. That was like a big story on, like, watching television news. Like that it's spreading in China, but it had not yet, like, kind of hit the Italy or America stuff or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, actually,
oh,
Merrill
wow.
Barr has
If
a
that
good
was-
question. Did the other guy get sick? We should reach out and ask if, because we both
Yeah, I don't
licked
know.
the same bar.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I got whatever he had
Mm.
because we licked the same bar.
Yeah, you did.
So are you down? Have you found an antibody test in the area?
So there is one in Richmond. I don't know what the price is, but they say the headline says it ain't cheap.
Mm.
I mean, that equals $300. Does that work for you?
I mean, yeah, like that would be a lot. It would be a lot to find out that I don't have the antibodies. I feel like they should have a thing where it's like, look, if I have the antibodies,
Like
then,
like an ambulance
you
chasing lawyer.
$300.
It's like, you don't get charged unless you have antibodies. If you don't have antibodies, we make nothing.
no. I can leave my money with you. I just want another test. I just want to test until I have the antibodies.
Yeah. No,
Like,
that
it's like,
is
all right,
pretty good.
If I ain't got it, you can take my 300. That's fine. That's gone, right? But, like, I just don't want. If I try this shit 3 times, I don't want fucking three $300 bills.
Yeah. Of course, what happens is you go out and you're kind of bummed you don't have the antibodies, and then dude in a shady trench coat is just like, got them WMDs.
Yeah. Hey, why the long face, friend? You wanna-
19s. Got them 19s.
I just freshly infected. You want me to spit in your eyeball? Yeah, man. I don't know. I was thinking about just getting a test. I mean, like, because they're free here in Oakland now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, hells yeah, why not? To find out if you have it, not the antibody test, just the
Not
regular
the
old?
antibody test, just the
Like, you might have
do
it
I
right
currently
now.
have COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, in a world where it could be asymptomatic, I mean, look, the biggest problem we have with our data is not enough tests. So if they're available and nobody's using them, we're only going to have more of them. It's going to be raining tests. It's raining tests. Hallelujah. It's raining tests.
Yeah,
Nice minor key version of that song. Sad.
Best I could do.
It's black market antibody test is $200. Oh no, wait. They're
Hey,
just
I had a
pregnancy
thought.
tests.
Okay, you know how
Okay.
there are those joke lottery tickets that are fake winners?
Okay.
Has anybody manufactured a joke pregnancy test? Or is that just too awful a thing to even conceive?
I don't know. I wonder if that would be some sort of fraud or illegal because it's medical equipment at a certain degree.
Medical looking. I mean, I agree, Thermos Jack. It is too awful. My question is not how awful is it? My question is, has somebody done it? something that just always
there's
comes
no
up one way or the
doubt
other.
Somebody's done it. There's no doubt somebody's done it.
Huh.
Although that does seem like a particularly spicy Modern Rogue episode.
That's local news calls you terrible.
Yeah.
AliExpress, right?
This just in, a local Austin man is selling pregnancy tests that are always positive. Spencer's gift.
Holy shit. Look at this, my friends.
Hey, big link button.
There it is.
Right
Right time prank joke pregnancy test always turns positive. Pack of 2.
Wow.
Okay.
$10.
What's funny is the only way I can see this working is in a safe relationship where it's like Bonnie has a headache and I'd be like, I don't know, man. I think you might be pregnant. I think despite my vasectomy, I might be so potent that I got you pregnant. Just to make me feel better. Will you take this?
I mean, that's the question, right? It's like, who in your life do you give this prank test to?
I'm thinking my wife in the next couple of months. That's where I'm at. Like, I think it might be really funny.
They got that buy now button. Tell you what.
I mean, do you think that this is the right time to test Bonnie's patience?
I think it's the right time to test her pee for pregnancy.
Because you'd have to convince her that she might be pregnant.
Well, I think the trick is
you can't just be like, hey, check yourself.
I think the trick is to just take whatever random thing she's experiencing and just have me look like the irrational one, saying like, I don't know, I think you're pregnant. I think I've got. I think somehow I overcame my vasectomy and I'm just that potent. I mean, just for my own benefit, will you just get tested? Just for me, will you do this? And then she comes out like, and it's like, haha, you just got pranked by the master prank pregnancy tester.
You'd have to figure out a way where it's not you giving her the test, right? Because why would you have the test?
Oh, I think that's the only way is if I'm the one pushing it, so that she instantly figures out that I'm an asshole.
Yeah, and also it's like, well, all right, I went to the grocery store. Still no one-way aisles. It's crazy. But anyway, I got this in case you ever want to use it. And so now it's just there, and she's, like now you've eliminated the you've proven probable reason why this off-brand ass pregnancy test is in her house.
Okay, now here's the thing: the always turns positive. Okay, which is the more ethically acceptable? The version of this that always turns positive, or the version of this that always shows negative?
The one that doesn't. The one that doesn't endanger a human life. You fucking sociopath.
You can take multiple tests, but you can't. You put the genie out of the box on that one.
So I did not know about this, but last night talking to the college entertainers on a Zoom meet, Eric Diddleman asked me if I had watched the movie that Matt Donnally was in, and I'm like, oh, you mean director's cut? And he goes, no, the movie that stars Matt Donnally from before that. And I'm like, what? And he goes, have you watched Hitting the Nuts? Wait, I don't know. Is that misspelled? Matthew Donnally?
Maybe that's his Christian name.
Yeah, the one that Christ gave him.
Mm-hmm.
Is this? Yeah. Well, apparently, is this real? Is this a real thing?
Well, let's see here.
Of course, this is nearly 10 years ago, so I don't know if I would recognize Matt Donnally from 10 years ago.
So we're gonna find out.
What? Never mind. That was one Matt Donnally.
That was him.
Yes. Holy shit! What is this?
So we're watching the trailer for this. He's making good use out of that cowboy hat and those whitey tighties.
How did I not know about this? Has he never mentioned this? Scooper and Overgirl is saying that she's unfamiliar with this. You know, we got Jacob planned for tomorrow. Maybe this is a tomorrow conversation. Maybe they've decided as a group that they will never.
There's a possibility that they are trying to keep this under wraps, and you heard one word in private from Eric Diddleman, and now you have unleashed it upon the internet.
I hope not. I don't know what this. Okay, all right.
So yeah, it looks like a amateur poker players
journey.
Yeah. Mockumentary.
But it looks like Donnally is the wacky one. He's the big wacky character.
Huh.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, let's press pause on any action on that till I exchange texts with Matt Donnally.
Also, by the way, that's funny. It's funny that like you were so careful when I was like joking around about like, oh yeah, fucking we invented going live multiple times a week. Fuck. Ice cream social. And you're like, oh, I just want to make sure that everything's okay. But this video that no one's ever heard of,
I didn't know. See, this is news to me.
Whatever.
I
Let's
thought
play
that
the fucking preview.
I thought that we were the last of the party on this one. From the way it was said and the fact that it was published 7 years ago, I'm like, okay, well then clearly we're the last ones to this party. Didn't know we were breaking news.
They've already done the watch along, and like this has been discussed, from soup to hitting the nuts.
Because like, how long ago was Dance On?
Oh yeah.
And we had a whole thing about it, and we don't really talk about it anymore.
Right, but it was 5 years ago, and,
Sure.
and all of a sudden people's minds exploding when they're like, "Oh my God, he was on a dance show." Yeah.
You want to look for Dance On, everybody.
you want me to go and throw that on there?
No, they do take down.
Oh, do they? If we flash a little bit of it,
We've had issues.
Interesting.
Are we talking any about when are we going to start talking about this thing that we're going to do?
I mean, maybe tomorrow
relatively
when those
soon.
things start getting released.
Yeah.
A lot of things, a lot of little things, just little bite size.
Wait, what happened?
Okay, so we're not.
We're shooting a bunch of not for Quibe, but they're a bunch of quick bits.
I know. Wait, so this moved forward?
Yeah. Final phases. In fact, just as we were doing tech stuff, I got a call that we got the all clear to sign everything and start shooting.
Yeah.
So you haven't. So you're just gonna shoot and post, and is this a secure the bag situation?
I don't know what that means. What is secure the bag?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Is one of these. Is one of these.
The bag of coins, the bag of holding. Yeah. So we're gonna start shooting a lot of stuff, and it'll come out over a period of time, and we're really excited.
Oh, okay.
Are you guys sending it to another place, or are you just putting it right in there?
I believe we're putting it right in there.
Put it right in there.
Yeah, we got to find out more. And in fact, we're encouraged to add whatever we want on top of the contract.
We are in fact told as long as you do them all.
We don't care when they are. Like, here's the final deadline. So like we could last semester of college this and just post them all in the last 72 hours.
I think they do have check-ins with people. It looked like they will check in with you. So we'll see. But I guess we'll talk about it in real terms in
very soon.
Bryce, are you excited about this?
I'm feeling good about it.
Better now.
Sure. I'm it'll be a lot of it. It's a lot of little things, and so once we get into the groove of it, I'll feel even better. But yeah, it'll be cool, especially because this is something that I think we should have been doing with any social media stuff. I always wish we could be doing more. And so,
but now we have a really good reason to do more.
Sure. Yeah. And I think so. That'll be cool.
So if anybody's wondering
for people to get in on it,
what we're up to between Happy Hour and Night Attack proper, God, how we have to follow up on last week's Night Attack. It's so weird. The biggest thing that blows my mind about Shelter in Place is how time is just different. Like weeks vanish instantly, and I'm not. I got really used to being on the road where a day was a lifetime and a week was a century.
Yeah.
And now it's just like you blink and it's like, oh my God, today's that 2-a-day day again.
Yeah, busy times. I mean, especially because you basically doubled your podcasting, right? With just happy hour.
Yeah,
in a week.
but and it's man, I'm so glad that we're doing happy hour because partly for doing push-ups like we talked about, just being able to show up and keep a conversation afloat, but also for like it gives us an opportunity to just continuously break things on a tech side and figure out robust ways to adjust to them over and over and over again. Kind of like we're doing right now. By the way, 3.1% droppage of frames, 1,750. Is that good or bad?
It's pretty good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like in any port in a storm, and you're literally suffering a storm right now. So good thing the port's open for everybody.
What else is going on? We got a good 15 left here.
Yeah.
You got entertainment news?
Yeah, did you see the Jeffrey Katzenberg gave an interview about the launch of Quibe?
Yeah. Well,
you know when the buck stops here, when the buck stops here, we could firmly blame it on coronavirus.
yeah. I mean, ultimate scapegoat. And by the way, like, and it's not just that he said like, wow, man, this coronavirus, very difficult to launch a brand new multi-billion-dollar platform. It's just like, hey, I hear where you're headed. Let me cut you off there. Every single thing bad you're thinking about my company, please attribute to coronavirus and not me.
Mm-hmm.
So the funny thing is that there were reports, anecdotal and published, that Katzenberg specifically was very, very, very touchy with people criticizing Quibe before they launched. Like he would call or email reporters to, set them straight, like before they launched. He has apparently grown no thicker skin now that everything is a total pile of crap.
Yeah, they had
but the real big highlights.
They did that cease and desist against the one Quibe podcast that someone made. Someone made a Quibe fan cast and said like, hey, we're going to talk about Quibe. And then they sent the lawyers, and now I think they've transitioned to doing something else. But it's like, they were generally kind of positive. They were going to give full attention to, it was just going to be about Quibe shows. And they said, no, thank you.
So there we go. Merrill Barr, I didn't want to put him on blast, but he says here in the chat, I was offered an interview with him right before the launch because he had written something negative and he turned it down.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, two big things that came out of that interview. Number one, Bryce, when you were telling me about Quibe, what were the general genre of programming that you thought it was best suited for?
For news content, the daily essentials, right? Like the BBC stuff is good. I think those are really good. Like the was useless celeb news that our friend Kate Kraft is associated with. I think that's really good with it.
Well, apparently you're the only one enjoying that, and considering the fact that Katzenberg let slip that hundreds of people were using it at any given time, I mean that literally. They spent a ton of money on what they call daily essentials, and that apparently has been very sparsely used, which is odd because it's the only thing that has been positively described to me about their platform.
Also, Katzenberg himself in the interview, quote unquote, quipped that the essentials aren't so essential.
Well, the other thing is
on me.
The daily essentials do not show up. They do not show up here. Like, they are not in your main feed or not above any of the original content. You would have to search for it or already be following it. So it's like, of course no one's seeing it. You're not showing it to people.
Sounds like something a hater and a loser would say. The second thing that Katzenberg had to say when asked about the platform TikTok, Katzenberg got very upset and said, that's like comparing apples to submarines. Where was Netflix the first 30 days it started? Sure, they have 6 million active users. What does that have to do with me?
I mean, I'm happy for them, but so what? Cool story, bro.
See, the thing about comparing apples to oranges is it's really not fair because, you know, when you want to go undersea and you make an apple, then you've made a very good apple.
Yeah.
But it's they keep I think there.
And by the way, the thing, where was Netflix 30 days in? A revolutionary DVD by mail platform.
Yeah.
That's what Netflix was 30 days in.
First of their kind both times.
Yeah,
more
like
or less.
a revolutionary way to marry a web interface to manage your queue with a proposition that was immediately attractive to anyone who ever rented any movie ever.
So the other part I got out of that article was the fact that it's been an intentional decision to not promote any one show on Quibi up until this point. It is finally their move of desperation that they're saying Reno 911 is back on Quibi. This other show is cool on Quibi. Like they intentionally were not doing that up until this moment, which is insane to me.
They were not doing very heavy advertising pushes, at least as far as I could tell. Yeah, I mean,
their intentional marketing budget for this first year was $460 million, and they are wisely spending less of that until, as they put it, they're keeping their powder dry.
And they also, you know, because it's a video app, they have all the DRM stuff on it, so you can't screenshot it, you can't screen record or take clips or anything, so you don't even have the chance. Like it's only something wildly crazy like the Golden Arm horror thing.
And you have to have a camera pointed at another screen to get it. Yeah,
someone else has to record it on another device. Like that's what are you trying to do here? You know?
Well, that apparently is going to be changed. In the interview, Katzenberg said apparently people really want to share this content. So I guess we're building that in.
Good.
Yes, in that same interview, he said, I mean, nobody saw this coming. A bunch of people sign up and they say, how do I get it on my TV? And we're like, why would you want to do that?
Well, no, it's like their whole thing was, we're not doing that. It's not no one's going to do it. It's you're not going to be able to, dog. We're saying no.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But I think it's got AirPlay now. So.
Yeah, that's right. As a matter of fact, you could do it on iOS, but not on Android.
It's not on Chromecast.
They're working on that hot technology.
That's right. You know, I think they only have a few more days of Reno 911 left. That it is a disservice to only do that show in 5 to 10 minute chunks.
So this is the final diagnosis.
That's funny because when I was looking at the trailer for it, I was like, oh, you want to know what? Like that actually kind of works because like when you really think of a Reno 911 episode, like they were fairly like it was like one main thread that would like follow through, that would build, but then the rest of it were pretty much like all the like dash cam stop footage things, like those were all pretty self-contained 10-minute things.
Yeah, I just the way that it's grouped, I don't know if it's the fact that they have to, you know, stop and start a new episode every time or what, but it just feels like there's really no flow. The couple of times that they try to do you know, a recurring segment, that ends up being like 70% or more of that video, right? There's one that just came out today about like Weigel goes to a crime scene from her boyfriend, where she had that serial killer boyfriend who was executed.
Yeah.
And she goes and it's like a 4-minute or so sketch of her going around, and she starts to see him, and she has this, you know, conversation because he's that kind of creepy guy, and so they have this really weird, awkward conversation. And then as a recurring bit, that just means that it also gets the second or the final slot in the Quibi. And so it's a few more minutes there, but it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like they get a chance to do enough with those ideas. And also they do a lot of those green screen like PSA commercials. And I don't think those are very funny. I think
Sorry,
those,
this is content in the show is them standing in
Yeah,
front
yeah,
of a green
yeah,
screen. Got
like remember to stop at a red light, and it's they're on a green screen, and it's the bad graphics and all. Those are my least favorite stuff. And there's a lot of those. They fill out a lot of time on Quibi with those PSAs.
Yeah, it's also like I think can we all agree that the Pet Cemetery approach, now that everything comes back because streaming money is so big, very rarely works for comedy. Has it ever worked for comedy?
Was Wet Hot good? I didn't know the original Wet Hot American Summer.
That was good. There was I mean, it was certainly worthwhile.
And we're not counting What We Do in the Shadows because that's a traditional cable adaptation. Yeah.
Well, no, that adaptations have done great. So
Yeah.
it's like, let's take an idea.
Oh,
let's
but bringing back stuff from the dead, though.
Reviving things.
Oh,
Yeah,
MST3K. How did that fare?
Original cast like does the thing again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch it.
I haven't seen anything.
MST3K, I think I watched the first one, and then I waited for the jury, and nobody called me to tell me whether or not to continue.
Trailer Park Boys. I also did not watch the original.
Ooh, that was great.
The live action one too?
No, the animated one. Trailer Park Boys.
But they did a live action revival.
Oh, did they?
Didn't they?
I don't know. I didn't see that. I know that the last official live action season ended with them all overdosing on mushrooms to hide it from the cops, and then they just boom. It was a cartoon.
Sure.
And then they spent about 2 episodes saying we must be very high because we're a cartoon. And at the end of the second episode, it's like, hey, is nobody freaked out that we're a cartoon? And then the answer is like, I don't know, man, just go with it. And then they never reference it again. It's amazing.
Mr. Show, maybe. Mr. Show might be, and even
with
then,
Bob
that
and David
was batting
good.
Yeah, that was batting about like 25% less than the original, but still, like the original was so fucking consistent that, like, you know, if you had a few mass sketches peppered in, there were still enough high points that you really had a good time.
And that almost felt like a special.
Yeah.
That
it felt like you're not going to get this for always. We're going to come back and give you this for today.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Does that shape your opinion about it, about the Pet Cemetery?
No, I
mean, feel better?
in general, I would just say that the Pet Cemetery on comedy specifically is pretty woeful. Like if the only thing we can think of is like, you know, Digital and the Country song from With Bob and David, and we've been at this shit for like fucking 10 years at this point.
Don't forget Hillbilly Pope with the Prilosec ragging on Larry the Cable
There we
Guy.
go.
There's plenty of good stuff in there. Don't get me started.
My point is not to shit on With Bob and David.
For every With Bob and
it was
David,
the only thing that was good.
For every With Bob and David, there's an Arrested Development. Right.
Which, by the way, I thought the first of the 2 seasons was not terrible. They tried something ambitious that didn't work, and they made it work. But man, I never even finished that follow-up. That follow-up was insane.
It's not good. I mean, yeah, I can see the controversy about season 4. You know, some people really prefer the recut, where they kind of cut it to the episode format.
Yeah,
I prefer the original cut, but season 5 is just. It's just not there. It's not well written or anything. You know what is very good?
Yes.
The new Hulu Justin Roiland show, Solar Opposites.
Oh yeah, no,
I've
been very hesitant to give that a try, but I know that you're a big fan.
Boom, boom, 2 big thumbs.
2 thumbs up. Wow.
Very good. It's great. It feels. I think someone. I think it was you, Brian, who mentioned that it felt kind of like American Dad to Rick and Morty's Family Guy.
Correct. And keep in mind, what I meant by that was American Dad came out at a time that Family Guy was taken away. So absent Family Guy, how can we get something that feels Family Guy-ish but is different?
And that was off, you know, the Family Guy's high.
Wait, was American Dad on when Family Guy was off?
Yep. And then they brought. Family Guy was full on canceled, And then the DVDs sold like crazy. And then in syndication on Adult Swim, they went absolutely bonkers. And then they brought back Family Guy. But American Dad was sort of like they already had the script written of Family Guy didn't work out for us. We're going to do this new thing, American Dad. And so they started American Dad. And then new story, psych, how about we also have Family Guy? And then it came back.
That timeline doesn't seem right because I remember them being both at the same time.
Well, yes, they were. But American Dad was restarted before Family Guy came back.
But in any case, that's near the high of Family Guy, and that was the low of American.
That also is not true.
Oh, really?
No, Family Guy came back May 1st, 2005. Oh wait, I guess it was simultaneously. So basically, I guess they were in the same thing. So American Dad did debut 2 months before February 6th. Family Guy came shortly after.
Hear that chat, folks? Whiskey Wolf 43.
Anyway, that's all not applicable to my point, which is that's during the height of Family Guy and the lowest point of American Dad, which had a Parks and Rec kind of thing where the first season they started to retool it because it was very, very of the Bush administration time where they opened it up and American Dad's best stuff is way better than Family Guy's best stuff, bar none to me. And so with Solar Opposites, it's not Rick and Morty, right? It's not brooding and dark. In fact, 20th Century Fox is listed as produced by, and so you feel the kind of animation domination element of it. And it's great. It's a lot of fun. It's still fast. It's still a lot of Justin Roiland. They have Thomas Middleditch do the other main alien, and he's fantastic as it. A lot of good stuff. A lot of really good stuff there.
Is Middleditch the guy in that improv special that they keep throwing at me on Netflix?
Middleditch and Schwartz.
Have you guys seen that?
I haven't, but they're supposed to be good.
Yeah, I heard it came highly recommended last night in conversation.
Mm-mm. He's the main character in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Improv.
Yeah,
do man. It's
that
improv.
shade.
Good for them. They're just they're look. They're making it up. There's no script or anything. It's crazy.
Okay, so Solar Opposites. Can we see all of them, or are they week over week?
They're all out. It's 8 episodes. That's the other thing is it's kind of short, but it's great. It's a lot of fun. I will probably rewatch it because it's a little dense, and I don't think I was paying enough attention for it the first time. And it has a little bit of serialized story stuff that pays off in a fun way. But yeah, very cool stuff. I think if we have a hole in the spoiling time schedule, it would be fun to maybe put that in somewhere.
Pop that one in.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a question. Somebody recommended that I should play the video game Control from last year. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Is it good? Should I do that?
It is good. I think you would like it.
Yeah. Should I play it online or something?
Maybe. I mean, it's very story. It's got a pretty strong story to it. It's from the people who made Alan Wake, if you know.
Okay.
That.
Yep.
And it's do you know the SCP Foundation thing on the internet?
I don't.
It's like the crowdsource thing where there's a secret agency that finds objects, and the SCP databases all of them, and so it's like this fan wiki of here are weird objects.
Got it.
So SCP-032 is a jigsaw puzzle, and when you put it together, you die, or something like that. And so it's kind of like that, where they're
It's like the crypt keeper of copy pasta.
Yeah,
It's like,
yes.
hello, ghouls and kitties. This time we have a post from Alanon997 _ throwaway. He says.
Yeah, it's very much in that vein.
Okay.
It's very cool. I think Brant has been playing it. I think he finished it, but it's great. And I'll tell you what, it'll look nice on that RTX graphics card that they gave us, because it's got ray tracing.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it's
Very cool.
You like that?
Yeah, all right. I'm down for that. Well, crap. We started a little bit late, but we're ending a little bit late. Justin, I guess I'll see you in 3 hours as we do the big show?
Always. Always on duty.
All
Video
right.
games on Friday.
Yeah, man. Congrats to us for. We may do a test stream right after this to see if we're able to go without the backup internet. But backup approved. That's pretty great. Let me click the thing over here. There we go. All right, there we go. And all right. So long, guys. Bye.
Bye. See ya.